an innocent person like me to be dragged all the way here, really, is a matter that baffles me.
There are reasonable grounds to believe that William Samuel Ruto is criminally responsible, forcible transfer of population, constituting a crime against humanity within the meaning of Article 7(1)(d).
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your greatest support. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saying this, that kiburi ni kitu mbaya sana, na sijui kwa nini mtu kama Murkomen anajiona ya kwamba yeye ni mtu ambaye hawezi shikika. And I said this, and I'll keep on saying this, that power comes, power goes. And Murkomen is not the first person to be the CS of Interior. Truth be told, he's not. We had a lot of people. There are a lot of predecessors. People who there was the first person who was the CS of Interior. And then another person, and then another person, and then Kithure Kindiki was there. A lot of people have been there. So I'm failing to understand why Murkomen is behaving as if atakufa hapo. Like nothing, nobody is untouchable. Imagine Murkomen trying to say that tishiki na mamuna ICC. Ati threaten us with something else, but don't threaten us with ICC. What is ICC? I want us to listen to him.
We will not allow our country to become an experimental place for anarchists to want to subvert the constitution, to want to meet terror on the people of Kenya and to get away with it just because some people want to scare us with ICC. Please scare somebody else. A lawyer, I am very clear in my mind, not just a lawyer, but a lawyer who has studied international human rights and humanitarian law. I understand the role of the International Criminal Court. Given another chance like that, we will do the same to make sure that this country is safe. Our responsibility is not something to play with. I want to say that I am very confident and clear in my mind that myself and the IG and the team have worked diligently within the Constitution, within the confines of the Constitution, to defend this nation.
So, Kenyans, I want us to talk about this issue of ICC. And there is something that I've come to learn. I've realized that something that these guys, they talk about the issue of ICC, wakona kiburi, because they know that even their leader, William Samuel mwenyewe, atishu in ICC. Why? Remember back then, 2007, 2008, when William Ruto sang, they were Campus 6 and then they came to Campus 3. The witnesses disappeared. Nobody knew where the witnesses went. So because according to the detectives, it's like they were paid money and then wakaamua wachane na kesi. Listen to this.
On November the 6th, 2020, Gicheru made his first appearance before the court, and on July the 15th, 2021, the charges against him were confirmed, paving the way for his prosecution.
Après cela, nous allons aborder les questions.
The pretrial chamber finding that indeed there is a case to be made that he bribed and intimidated witnesses to recount their evidence at the behest of the deputy president. The chamber finds that the evidence shows Mr. Gicheru, Mr. Mayo and Mr. Simato had a particular proximity with Mr. Ruto. At the time of the events, Mr. Mayo was the Constituency Development Fund chairman in Eldoret and had been appointed to his position by Mr. Ruto, who was then the Member of Parliament. Mr. Simato was the head of the African Merchant Assurance Company, AMACO, an insurance company to which Mr. Ruto was a shareholder.
So are you saying this is why William Ruto mwenyewe anazungumza? It is not like, let us be clear, it is not like William Ruto's 2007-2000 case at ICC ended. Ama alishinda. The thing is that William Ruto's case at the ICC ilisimamishwa because the witnesses were nowhere to be found. So there is no way you can continue the case in haina witnesses. And you can't create other witnesses. You can't, it is impossible. Because pale, I think kuna kuwaka na pale ambapo witnesses wanaandika majina. So kama witnesses ambao wameandika majina yao hawapo, so what is the need of continue the case? So William Ruto hakushinda kesi. Kile ambacho kilifanyika ni kwamba witnesses wale wanaitwa washuhudiwa ama wanaitwaje kwa Kiswahili? How do we call witnesses in Swahili? Disappeared. So hakuna jinsi ambayo unaweza ukafunga mshukiwa na wale watu washahidi. Washahidi wenyewe hawapo. I really seeing the sense now. So hii kiburi ambayo Ruto ako nayo kwa sababu anajua vizuri kwamba at the end of the day hakuna kitu ambacho kitafanyika.
P540 then told me that the big man offered 1.5 million Kenyan shillings and additional expenses to join the big man's team and withdraw his assistance to the ICC against the big man. Paragraph 29. P540 then asked me to accept the same offer of 1.5 million Kenyan shillings, which had been approved by the big man, on condition that I withdraw myself as an ICC witness. And I digress to state that the witness also clarified that he and P540 used to refer to William Ruto as the big man.
To the conditions of surrender, I wish to confirm to the court.
Armed with millions, Gicheru, as chief agent of the deputy president, the evidence would suggest, got down to the business of undermining the prosecution's case against William Ruto. In pursuit of this enterprise, Gicheru deployed footmen to find and steer these witnesses in his direction. The prosecution calls them intermediaries. They are Philip Koechbet, for whom an arrest warrant is outstanding, Walter Osapi Barasa, who also is wanted by the court, and Meshak Yebei, who was a to Gicheru by witness P0341, who received 2 million shillings in total from Gicheru and his associates.
What I heard is people have started showing resentment in some places, and
The witnesses, who later confessed to taking payments to cut the case against Ruto off at the knees, reported being cautioned against making deposits at the bank. So a paper trail could not be established, but they did so anyway, for fear of carrying around wads of cash.
I do not intend to admit the charges under Article 65.
The case against Gicheru now proceeds to trial and could see him serve 5 years in prison.
Whatever allegations that have been made against me, I need to have the full knowledge of those allegations, and whoever has made them, to enable me to respond.
As to whether any of this will blow back on Deputy President William Ruto and pose a threat to his freedom, only the future will tell.
An innocent person like me to be dragged all the way here, really, is a matter that baffles me.
And I've been hearing this thing. Rigathi Gachagua talked about it, that William Ruto, they're trying to file cases that William Ruto is going to be taken to ICC.
The killings that are taking place in Kenya are all crimes under the Rome Statutes and are admissible before the International Criminal Court. I want to confirm that we have put up a team that is documenting all the atrocities, all the killings, all the displacements, all the disappearances, all the abductions. And we have a team that is putting evidence together to take William Ruto to the ICC at The Hague. And the case against him for the 2007 post-election violence was not concluded. It was put on hold when witnesses disappeared. So his file is still open. In addition, we have formed a committee under Justin Muturi, the former Attorney General, the Committee on Restorative Justice, that again is looking at issues that when we form government, we will look into the compensation of Gen Zs who have been abducted and killed and other families that have faced atrocities under this administration.
Reuben Kigame is also saying that all that has been happening, and in fact is requesting the international medias and all that, the investigators, that this government is supposed to be investigated because of what has been happening.
Thank you very much, Senior Counsel, and thank you, members of the press, for coming here to witness one of the biggest cases in the history of our justice system in Kenya. I stand here with colleagues that believe in justice. I stand here as a parent of young Kenyans and representing many, many other parents. I stand here as a Christian leader who believes in biblical justice, and on behalf of all religious groups in Kenya, including Muslims and Hindus who believe in justice. I also stand here on behalf of civil society groups and all law-abiding citizens and those who defend the rights of the marginalized and oppressed. We filed this case so that this matter can be escalated to the international community, and I hope that envoys receiving this, that international media, and all that are concerned with what has been happening in Kenya will escalate this so that the whole world knows that Kenya has become a police state that kills its citizens, abducts them, tortures them, and then charges the young people for terrorism. We have seen police arrest innocent Kenyans simply asking for accountability, pull them like they did Albert Ojwang from his home in South Nyanza, bring him more than 300 kilometers to Nairobi, kill him, and then lie that he killed himself. We have witnessed during the demonstrations of 2024 and 2025 which are entrenched in the Constitution, Article 37 and others. Young people armed only with bottles of water and placards, peacefully asking for a better country, they are arrested, shot at with live ammunition, and killed, maimed, and then abandoned as if nothing ever happened. But the perpetrators continue. The police and hired goons, as the bosses of security in this country, watch with calm detachment. As a citizen, and on behalf of all well-meaning citizens of Kenya, I say this cannot be allowed to continue, will not be allowed by me and other Kenyans who love justice. We will push it to the highest justice level possible. And like Esther of old, we will go for this, and if we perish, we perish. We are here to defend the people of Kenya in keeping with the Constitution, and we will be celebrating this Constitution that we got in 2010. We have the 15th anniversary this coming August, and I hope this case becomes a landmark marker of the significance of the supreme law of this country vis-a-vis the Constitution. Like Wakili has said, the Rome Statutes, and indeed if you look at the United Nations provisions for the human dignity and the rights of citizens, you can be sure that this government has systematically violated all of them and killed at will, including violating Article 26 of our Constitution that guarantees right to life. We stand here today to file this case, believing that action will be taken soon and that the court will grant us leave to proceed to the highest possible level. Having exhausted all the Kenyan options, we will have no other choice but to push it all the way to the International Criminal Court. I want to thank my lawyer for such a splendid job of drafting and capturing my ideas. And I want to thank all my wonderful friends from civil society for walking with me this road. Naamini kwamba haki itapatikana na utu wa Wakenya utaweza kudumishwa. Asante sana.
So in other words, we are still at the verge. We are still at the William Ruto bado. So mimi kitu ambacho naweza nikasema, what I can say is that these guys should not be very happy that they won the case. They should not be, imagine Murkomen, you know, mimi kitu ambacho kinanishangaza, Murkomen anasema kwamba hatishwi. Mimi sitishwi bana na ICC. Amwezi mkanitisha na ICC bana. Amwezi mkanitisha na ICC. So I've been asking myself this question, that will it really be possible? Because the person that was really pushing for this case, that is the Ocampo, it was known as Ocampo, that is why they were named the Ocampo 6. I think he retired. And also, another thing, William Ruto thought, maybe William Ruto is still thinking that, oh, he will end the case. But the person that was his lawyer who was made the president, that is Karim Khan, is behind bars. I think he was charged with, I don't know whether it was rape or what. So he's not even fit to handle any case. Either way, let us just wait for what is going to happen. But at the end of the day, we have to accept that what has been happening in this country is very wrong, and these people must pay. They will have to pay. Whether they'll pay it in ICC, but at the end of the day, they will have to pay for what they've been doing. It will be paid. We don't care when it will be paid. We don't care where it's going to be paid. But at the end of the day, whether William Ruto collaborates, I don't know with which people, to make sure that he is judged, maybe amehukumiwa Kenya in Africa. We don't care. But what has happened? What happened? People died. A lot of things have been happening. Murkomen. Ai brother umeenda sana.
Tumeambia polisi, mtu yoyote mwenye atakaribia police station, piga yeye risasi.